Hey everyone, Mama Mike here, and today is a quick video. We are unboxing the Farpoint PSVR aim controller bundle. Yes, I have finally acquired one of these. I've wanted to get this since the game was announced, but they were a little bit hard to find, and then the price just went way up on Amazon and other retailers for just the aim controller. And I went into GameStop and they had one behind the counter. It was the last one in stock. I couldn't believe it. So I actually got one for the regular price of $79.99. Very happy about that. So this includes the PlayStation VR aim controller and Farpoint the game. It says precise aiming for PlayStation VR. The PlayStation VR aim controller offers precise motion tracking, ergonomic design, and deeply intuitive controls to keep your shots lightning fast and deadly accurate. Farpoint, together with the PlayStation VR aim controller, sets a new standard for FPS gaming. And then a description of Farpoint, it says survivors keep moving. Farpoint, an unnerving VR adventure set on a hostile alien planet, was created exclusively for PSVR and developed alongside the PSVR aim controller. On a mission to pick up scientists studying an anomaly near Jupiter, a sudden rupture transports the players and scientists to an unknown alien world. I am just so excited. The game itself really enticed me. It sounded really fun. I really liked what I saw of the gameplay. And then of course, just the aim controller, it just adds a whole new level of immersion to the VR experience. It looked really cool, kind of like how you reload the gun in this game. You tip it backwards, almost like you're grabbing it from your pack, and then you're starting fresh with a new weapon. It's just really neat. This is the top of the box, just has the Farpoint logo on it. I just cannot wait to start this game, but first we must unbox it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We are through the plastic. Let me put my scissors down. Opening the box with a, and there we go, we're in. Let's see what we have inside here. Is going to be hard to remove. This is a very large cardboard box, and it's just kind of the perfect fit for this box, but golly, this is gonna be a tough one. Ooh, trying to not damage this lovely packaging with a, I'm just gonna have to get creative. Up. Ooh. There. Oh, there we go. We're so close. There we go. Okay, so inside that box was just a very nondescript, plain cardboard box. So, finding the mode of entry up here, and doot. Okay, now we're getting closer, but wait a minute, I see more boxes, and oh, there we go. So I can tell this is the aim controller in here. But that is what that looks like when you remove it from second cardboard box. But I will say I am very happy that this was so well packaged and protected, because the Move controllers, for the regular ones for PlayStation VR, they are quite durable, but I really wouldn't want to take any chances with shipping a controller of this size and of this price point as well. Like I said, I was very happy to get the bundle at the regular price of $79.99 for the game and controller, but the controller on Amazon, on eBay, a lot of them are upwards of $100 for just the controller. So I definitely wouldn't want to take any chances with this being damaged, especially because it was the last one available at my local GameStop. But looking on this side, we have got a flap that we can open, and I'm just gonna guess that there it is. So I opened up, just so you all can see, I opened up this flap here and the game was behind it. So let us first unbox the game, and neat! I really like the look of this game for being a game that maybe could be a little bit scary in VR just because you're on a hostile alien world. I really appreciate that it is bright, it is sunny. I mean, I know that it's a very, in this picture looks very sandy, but from a lot of the gameplay I've seen, there is some bright, sunny spots. There's a lot of color. It's not going to be the entire experience is not going to be deep, dark, scary, things jumping out at you type game. It's going to be a kind of sci-fi adventure, but it's not going to be engineered to be terrifying. Alright, scissors in hand, let us remove the plastic so we can get a better look at the game case. Well, that's one piece. Can we go for two? Nope, it looks like it's gonna be three. Okay, but there it is, Farpoint. The same description is on the back of the game that was on the box that I read to you, so we shall not read it again, but just really like the artwork. Cannot wait to actually see this game with my own eyes in VR. Opening it up, we have got a description, actually, of the control scheme for the game, which I think is really cool to include that. And then we have the game disc on this side with an extended description of the control scheme behind it. Let me just remove the game so that, oh yes, this is for the AIM controller. So you could play this, I suppose, with a regular controller. It is not required to have the AIM controller, but it will certainly enhance the experience, or so I hope. Okay, so after a little bit of tinkering to find out how to get into the next layer of the box, this whole flap comes up to reveal the Move controller. So now, let us get to that portion of the unboxing. I did put the game back in its place just so I would not lose it, because there is a lot of cardboard down here. Now, firstly, there is a packet on top of it, and oh, it is sealed. What is it? A PlayStation VR AIM controller instruction manual. Ha! We don't need those. I might need it later, and I probably will end up reading it, but for now I'm telling myself I don't need that. But the controller is wrapped very nicely in that kind of cushiony, it's not really plastic, it's not really paper, but you know what I'm talking about. It's nice and cushioned, and I really am happy with how well this was packaged. But let's take that out. I'm just going to set the box down ever so gingerly. And neat! Oh wow, it is cool to see this in person. So we have all of the same buttons that are available on the PlayStation controller. You have got share, options, analog stick, and the D-pad all under here. Might be a little hard for me to show it, but those are all on this panel. On the front here, we have got L1 and L2. On the top, you've got your PlayStation button. On the side, we have got R1 twice. They did mention that in a gameplay video that is so if you are right-handed or left-handed, all of the buttons will be easily accessible to you, and I think that is a fantastic feature. I'm so glad that they did it that way. Up here we have got triangle, circle, X, and square up here, and we have also got your second analog stick. Underneath here, these are just some warnings, FCC type stuff. And then of course we have the trigger. Feels fantastic. It is nice and springy, but it takes a good amount of pressure to push in. And of course at the end we've got kind of the Move controller, what will light up so that the camera can detect it. And lastly, down at the bottom we have got a micro USB port. I will assume that that is how I will be charging this device, but I'll probably have to check the instruction manual to be sure. But just holding this in my hand, it feels great. It's nice and lightweight, but it has a weight to it. This does not feel like a children's toy. It is not feather light, but it is certainly not heavy. If I had to describe it, I'd say that maybe this feels like the weight of maybe 2 or 3 controllers. But obviously because of how it's spread out, you know, it's not like you're just holding 3 controllers in one hand. It's really nice. I can tell that the weight is kind of centered around this side of it, but that's comfortable because this is where the trigger is anyways. You've got your second hand to kind of steady your aim here. It's just so cool. I can't get over how much I like it in terms of the weightiness of it and just the comfort of it. And your fingers just rest right on the analog stick. I believe that it's this analog stick is what's going to move you forward in the game. And of course, because it's PSVR, you can kind of turn all different directions. But man, it's really neat to finally see this in person. And this must be your touchpad button. I just noticed that up here next to the PlayStation button. It has that dimpled look that the touchpad has on the controller. So I'm going to assume that that would take the same function as that button. But wow, I just can't get over this. And it is, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, this should be relatively comfortable for you because they've made all the buttons accessible, and they even included double of R1 up here so that either side you can reach it. I think they said maybe that was your reload button, which would make sense. Take your hand off the trigger, reload. That is quite comfortable. And I will say I don't have small hands per se, but I also don't have large giant lumberjack hands either. So this is quite comfortable for me to hold, but I would certainly say that if you had larger hands, the amount of space that they give you in the trigger here, you'd have to have extremely large hands to not be able to use this comfortably. And I do like that they made the buttons a little oversized. That could have been just a little tiny chiclet button, but instead they extended it, made it easy for your finger to find and to hit that. And it also is nice to have these buttons down here be a good size. The D-pad looks to be the same size as a regular D-pad on a controller. Because you won't be able to see the controller, you'll be in PlayStation VR, it's nice that the buttons are familiar and just intuitive. The way your hands rest on L1 and 2 over here, it just makes sense. And as much as I look forward to playing Farpoint, I'm excited as well for other games that utilize the AIM controller, and I feel like it is definitely a good investment if you can get it for a reasonable price. Getting this for the standard price for the bundle of $79.99, I definitely feel like it's worth it. Seeing it in person now, I would say, okay, maybe I would pay a little extra for the controller if I couldn't get the bundle, but I think the bundle is the best way to get it because it certainly is worth the price, but saving that extra really helps, especially because this will be available for other games, and now I have a little extra money to purchase other games that use the AIM controller because I didn't spend a ton of money on just the controller. So that was a quick unboxing of the Farpoint bundle, including the AIM controller. Let me know in the comments below if you picked up the bundle or just the controller. If you've used it, let me know what you think of it so far. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Bye!